Are you having trouble with 刚 and 刚才? I know the feeling. Every time you start a sentence that you know is heading for a 刚 or a 刚才, you feel like you're crossing the street with these guys. You don't know where this is going, but it isn't going to end well. No worries. We're going to lay out the difference between these two words so you can use them with confidence. Let's get down to business. There are 3 big differences between these two words. The first difference is pretty simple. 刚 and 刚才 are different parts of speech, different types of words. 刚才 is a noun that refers to a specific time. If you have a normal sentence with a subject, verb, and object, time words can go right here, between the subject and the verb. Let's see what that sounds like.
老师刚才说什么了?
There you have it. Subject, 老师, then our 刚才right before the verb, 说. Time words can also go right here, at the very beginning of the sentence. 刚才那个声音是什么? So 刚才 can either go in one of these two places. You can say 刚才你说什么了? Or 你刚才说什么了? Both are okay. 刚, on the other hand, is an adverb. Adverbs have to go right in front of the verb that they refer to. It can't be split up from that verb.
他刚走1点钟回来。
我刚喝了3杯咖啡。
Let's move on to difference number 2. Okay, pretend this line is time, and this little point here is 现在. This blue point right here, just a few seconds, maybe a couple minutes before 现在. That point is 刚才. 刚才 is a noun that means this point in time. That means you can only use 刚才 to talk about things that happened like a second ago, or maybe a minute that might be stretching things.
请大家把课本拿出来，翻到第84页。下面我们开始念课文。小白，你念第4行好吗？
老师刚才说什么了?
As you can see, the teacher just said something a few seconds ago. Only a very small amount of time passed before Xiaobai realized he'd missed it. Okay, so that moment is 刚才. When do we use 刚? Well, 刚 does not refer to a single point in time. It's more like a general area on the timeline with a reference point at the beginning and a relatively short amount of time following it. Just listen to these 3 examples. You can use 刚 to talk about the past.
又下雨了，真讨厌，冷得不想活了。春天的天气怎么这样？
你这是没习惯啊。我刚到金山州的时候，我也不习惯这里的天气。
This guy's been here a while, so 我刚到金山州的时候 is in the past for him. But he's talking about that period of time that was very soon after he first got here. Okay, so that's the past. But you can also use 刚 to talk about the future.
我明年要上日文课了，我有一点紧张。你学过日文对不对？
我学过日文。你刚开始学的时候，可能会有点难，但是习惯了以后就不难了。
Since the student on the left hasn't started studying Japanese yet, when her friend tells her, 你刚开始学的时候，可能会有一点难, he's giving her a warning that right when she begins studying, during that short period of time, it will likely be difficult. So again, using 的时候, 刚 can be used to refer to the future as well as to the past. As you might expect, you can also use 刚 to refer to a short period of time that includes the present.
早
上7点半的课，你怎么不困？
我刚喝了3杯咖啡。
明白了。
So here we've seen that 刚 can be used to talk about events in the faraway past, the immediate past or general present, in the future. While 刚才 is just one point on our mental timeline, 刚 is a word that can be used at any point along the way, as long as you have context. That's difference number 2. If the sentence 我刚喝了3杯咖啡 sounds weird to you at the moment, hold that thought. The final and most difficult to master difference between 刚 and 刚才 is a difference in connotation. The problem is that these two words have a difference in meaning that we do not really express in English, so we have to think extra hard. The problem arises right here, in this space in the timeline where you have the option to choose either word. How do you know which one to use? The word gang implies that the just happened action has a continual relevant effect. That is, it has bearing on what we're doing and talking about right now. Let's go back to our caffeinated friend here.
早上7点半的课，你怎么不困？
我刚喝了3杯咖啡。
哦，明白了。
Even if he just had his coffee a few seconds ago, his friend is asking him why he's so wired at this ungodly hour. And the reason why he's feeling that way is because he just drank 3 cups of coffee. This is what we mean by continual relevant effect. It's continuing, and it's directly related to the situation at hand. Here's another example.
好久不见，夏天过得好吗？
过得很好，我上个星期刚从中国回来的。
Since our friend Xiaobai is standing and talking to his friend, we can safely assume that he's still here, right? So the effect of him returning from China is still relevant to this moment. Using 刚才 instead of gang in this situation is probably the number one most common mistake that even students of upper-level Chinese make when using these 2 words. Even if you just stepped off the plane 2 seconds ago, you are still here. So this is a situation for gang. Don't forget.
刚从中国回来，刚从中国回来，刚从中国回来。
Alright, since this is a tricky point, let's see one more example for gang's continual relevant effect.
请问陈老师在哪里？
他刚走1点钟回来。
Because Xiaobai is looking for his teacher and she's not there, her having just left is relevant to the situation we're witnessing now. Chen Laoshi not being there is the result of her leaving. So even if she just left a second ago, you have to say gang. The situation is still in effect. So, as we've seen in these 3 examples, gang involves a continued relationship of relevancy and effect for a relatively short time period. It means that something just happened, or had just happened, or will just have happened, and the situation of that happening continues to be important for a short while. 刚才, in contrast, usually involves some type of gap or change, or discontinuity between that point and the present. When you use 刚才, you're just referring back to what happened at that point. You're not talking about its effect or bearing on what's happening now. Let's go back to an earlier example for 刚才. Watch to see if you can identify the gap.
请大家把课本拿出来，翻到第84页。下面我们开始念课文。小白，你念第4行好吗？
老师刚才说什么呢？
Most students have no problem with the sentence 刚才说什么了, but think for a moment about why you say 刚才 here. Something was said just a moment ago, so the timing works, that's number 2. But also, you missed what was said. Something happened at a point in time just a second ago, you missed it, and you want someone to fill you in on what happened at that point. A lot of this decision has to do with what part of a situation you are choosing to focus on. Watch closely as Xiaobai goes to look for Chen Laoshi again.
请问陈老师在哪里？
他刚才在这里，好像走了。
So here we have the same general situation as we just saw a few moments ago. Chen Laoshi just left a moment ago, and then her student came looking for her. But this time, when this teacher informs Xiaobai of what's going on, she focuses on that moment 2 seconds ago or a minute ago, 刚才, when Chen Laoshi was here. She was just here a minute ago, that's weird. Because she's no longer here, there's a change. There's a gap in continuity. So this is a situation for 刚才. This last difference between gang and 刚才 takes a while to get used to, so you might not be completely clear on each example right away. But keep these 3 differences in mind, and you'll be headed in the right direction.